Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome to the Sompo Deep Cut. Today, we're talking about something that almost every diploma student overlooks, even when they know the content inside out: the command verb. Because if you're not writing to the command verb, you're not actually answering the question. And that's not personal, that's just how WSET works. The diploma theory exams aren't testing how much you know. They're testing how well you can apply what you know in the exact structure the examiner is asking for. And that structure is set by one small word at the start of the question. It's easy to underestimate that. Most students glance at the verb and jump straight into writing, relying on whatever facts happen to be at the top of their mind. But every command verb changes the style, the depth, and the shape of your entire answer. So let's talk through what these verbs actually mean and how to use them properly. When you see the word identify, you're not explaining or arguing, you're simply naming things, presenting clear facts one after another. Think of it as holding up labeled objects. Examples include Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah. When the verb is state, the examiner wants a clean, simple fact, no elaboration, one line. Something like the maximum yield is 35 hectoliters per hectare, or this region is known for high acidity. Outline asks you to summarize the main points, not detail, not depth. You're giving the broad strokes. For example, the main features include high altitude, a continental climate, and limestone soils. That's an outline. Describe, meaning laying out characteristics or features, but without explaining why they happen. You might say, the wine is aged in large old oak vats, or this grape typically produces wines with medium acidity and floral aromatics. Description is detail without the cause and effect chain. Explain is where reasoning happens. And this is one of the most important verbs in diploma writing. Explain means you must show how or why something happens. You're linking the cause to the process and the process to the stylistic or quality outcome. Phrases like, because of this, the wine develops higher acidity, or this leads to a fuller body, signal that you're doing the right work. When the verb is compare or contrast, you're showing both similarity and difference, not just one. You might say, while both regions produce aromatic whites, only Alsace uses warmer fermentation temperatures, or in contrast, Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc shows higher acidity. Evaluate means making a judgment backed by evidence. You're weighing strengths and limitations. You might write, this technique is effective because it reduces oxidation, and then balance it with, however, one challenge is the increased labor cost. That combination is evaluation. Discuss expects nuance. You're presenting multiple angles and acknowledging context. You might say, on one hand, cooler climates preserve acidity. However, warmer vintages can lead to higher alcohol levels, which changes the style. That's a discussion, more than one angle, calmly explored. And finally, justify. Students often misunderstand this one. Justify means you are choosing a position and defending it with evidence. You're making a case. Something like, this is the most suitable option because it delivers both rightness and structure. Or, evidence shows that this approach is more reliable in cooler vintages. These verbs matter because WSET markers read your answers entirely through the lens of the verb. If the question asks you to explain and you spend two paragraphs describing, you haven't met the task. If you're supposed to evaluate and you simply list facts, the examiner can't award marks for reasoning that isn't there, even if the facts are correct. So here's how you train this into your practice. Every time you read a theory question, pause. Highlight the command verb. Match your structure to what the verb demands. And use phrasing that signals clearly, calmly, and confidently that you're doing exactly what the question asked. If you want a simple way to keep all of this straight while you study, I've created a one-page command verb cheat sheet. It's free and you can download it from the Substack article linked under this episode. It gives you the definitions, the strategy behind each verb, and the phrasing shortcuts you can use in the exam. We're not just learning vocabulary here, we're building the reasoning muscle behind your writing. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.